Hello everyone, welcome back. So, Lynx 12 bolt carrier change today. Okay, so last night took this gun apart to do a 15,000 round inspection and cleaning, and I noticed that this bolt, which is the second bolt that's in this gun, at 11,000 rounds, the original bolt that was in that Lynx, the tail part of the bolt broke, so it cracked over here. This part came off, and I changed out the bolt, put it into this carrier. There was a lot of work involved with getting this bolt to fit into this carrier. And last night when I noticed because of this wear, somebody suggested to me that perhaps the hole that's in the carrier was not drilled straight. And today I said, you know what, let me try a different carrier. So I had this carrier over here. It was a brand new carrier. And I took this bolt and I tried to put it into that one, and I noticed it was a little. Basically it was getting stuck going forward, getting stuck coming out. And I said, you know what? Let me just pull out a completely new bolt. So I've got a new bolt and a new carrier in this Lynx over here, and this one seems to be working fine now. It was sticking a little bit. Okay. Good thing is I didn't have to do any work on this bolt because it was a real pain in the ass on this one over here. I think that this bolt that I got over here was just like defective, right? Or not defective, it just wasn't finished, right? So when they shipped this one from China, this wasn't thoroughly inspected and fitted, and finished. Basically, it was an unfinished bolt that I had to complete because this bolt that I got it here now, that's also a new bolt that just went right in. The gun was, the bolt was sticking a little bit. I did take a Dremel and just work this area a little bit over here where I thought it was sticking. Was still sticking a little bit. Then I just took some gun oil, sprayed some gun oil on the carrier into the bolt, and now it's working good. I already fired a couple of shots with this. When I fired the shots, I fired it dry. It fired a couple of shots, then it got stuck. Now I put the oil in there. Let's fire a couple of shots with this while it's oiled, and let's see if we have any jamming problems with this. There we go. But I've already done a video on this, but when you're trying to put a full mag in there, you got to hook this, leveraging, the shells have to compress, okay? It's because when your bolts close, right, the shells need to compress in order for it to go in. So as you're putting it in, be aware that you got to catch it and rock it in and compress those shells. All right, it did stick a little bit going forward in. Let's see how it fires. Rock and roll, baby. It still needs to break in. By the way, that was Winchester 100 round value shot, the cheapest shit that they have as far as bird shot goes at Walmart. I don't think I got this at Walmart. I got this online, but it's the same stuff that you would get at Walmart. So that's cheap stuff basically, and it's working good on this bolt. Let's take this bolt out. All right, so this is where I felt it was sticking a little bit, and I just worked a little bit with the drum. I don't even think that was necessary. I think it just needed oil. Let's look at this. I really wish they wouldn't even paint these things, because all this black paint that they put on it, all that does is add friction. It does not do anything valuable. They don't color this the same way like Glock colors their barrels, okay? Because that actually, it's almost like the paint is kind of like plated. So this coloring that they put on these bolts and these bolt carriers, all it does is cause extra friction. So that's the braking process, right? The braking process is just trying to get the paint off of the parts that connect to each other. And anyway, what I'm looking for, I'm looking at the tail over here. I'm looking to see if there's any wear, any marks. I mean, it's gonna probably, I've only fired about 20 rounds with this. It'll take more than 20 rounds before this really starts showing some marks, and we can see. What I want to see is if it starts wearing in the tail the way the other one did. So yeah, this is working. I'm gonna basically use this the way it is right now. Use this gun. I just did a video before about aligning your bolt and getting it into your Lynx 12, which has always been a major pain in the ass for me, right? I think that this one over here, this carrier, I think it might be slightly out of spec because A, I'm seeing that where, and I just basically I put marker on this, right? Basically I use a Sharpie to color it. I cycled it a bunch of times, and I can see that the Sharpie marks are coming off of this, so definitely wearing in that spot. So anyway, so with this one over here, I think it might be slightly out of spec because I always have a really difficult time getting this to fit into that gun. This one, I noticed that this new one is going in there a bit easier. Okay, so the way we do this, you know, pointing the piston, you know, downrange. What you're gonna do is the bottom part here, right? When this goes in, this lug right here, that's gonna rotate to the right and forward. Then the top part here is gonna rotate to the left. Okay, so the bottom part, I'm sorry, no, bottom part rotates to the left, top part rotates to the right. All right, so let's do this again. So facing this away from you, bottom part goes in. The left and right again is screwed up here. So that's going to rotate this way in, and then this rotates the opposite way. And then what that's going to do is that this part here is going to, these two parts here are going to basically that's what's going to ride on top of the rail. These two parts right here, and then this part over here is going to go run down the center. That part is what's going to go in this on the left side over here. Not that side, on this side of the hammer, and it's going to run in there. Okay, so let's get that in there. All right, so like I said, we rotate the bottom, looking away that way. Bottom rotate to the left, top rotate to the right. And you got to apply some downward pressure as you put this in, because you got to basically compress that hammer. The hammer's got to be pressed down. And there it goes. That went in much easier than this one here ever went in. So I'm inclined to believe that this one is slightly out of spec, because I've always had a hell of a time getting that one in. Put this back over here. Oh, yeah, so it's definitely got some more resistance, because it's just gonna break in. Basically that junk paint that they put on it has to wear out. Just put some on the rails. Kind of help this. Here's the thing, I can get this gun to cycle, as you guys saw. The problem is that when I put other people on this gun that maybe aren't as strong when they hold the gun, they're probably gonna have jams. So what I'm gonna do is, like the Winchester stuff that I know is like lower velocity, I'm gonna use that in my other Lynx 12, and then when I use ammo that's like close to 1,300 feet per second, a little higher velocity, I'm going to use that in this gun here to use that to break this gun in. Now, one of the things that I'm realizing as I'm holding this gun here, hold on, let me pull this down for a second. So one of the things I'm realizing is that this mount that I have here, this is a UTG. Basically, I just got this because this was the cheapest one I could find on Amazon. At the time, I wasn't even sure how well the optic was going to work on these Lynx. But this mount, I think, is a little heavy, especially this worthless piece of rail that they have, this rail that they have on this side. That's adding unnecessary weight, because even holding the gun here like this gun is like, it feels like so much lighter than it normally feels. You know, put the cover on. That's fine. So that, that feels okay. Now, as soon as you add this on, slide this thing on, lock that down. Right. Yeah, I I hate this. Basically, I gotta go back. I gotta tighten the screw over here because this is still moving. But anyway, as soon as I put this rail on here, this gun all of a sudden becomes heavier, like noticeably heavier. So it's gotta be the rail. I mean, it's those ounces that are adding up to pounds here, you know? But anyway, I hope you guys found that information interesting. Definitely advise get yourself extra bolt carrier and an extra bolt for your Lynx 12. That's the most vulnerable part of your Lynx 12, the bolt carrier and the bolt. I have two Sega 12s, right, that basically just wall hangers now because the bolt carrier broke where the carrier connects to the piston. You can't get replacements on them. Well, actually you can, but the bolt carrier and the bolt is like upwards of $200. And right now you can get these Lynx 12s, the whole gun for $300, right? I've seen that on sale for $300. So it's just not worth it to get a bolt carrier, an aftermarket bolt carrier for my Sega 12, or even a used one, right? Which you don't know, how much, how many with the round count is that. It's not worth it to pay $200 for a bolt carrier and bolt for my Sega 12 when you can get the whole gun for even when I was paying $400 or $500 for this, it's still you're better off with a new gun. And certainly now at $300, I mean, and now the new ones they've got the rail built into the dust cover. I might get one of those. I've got 3 of these already, so it's like should I get it just for the rail cover for the rail and the dust cover? I don't know, maybe. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you're not a member of the channel, subscribe and hit that bell button so you get notification from new videos I put up.